Hello, I'm Azai. Welcome back to Tokyo Necro. So this is 2 days after the last episode. Reason being, yesterday my throat was actually shot. I knew it was coming since I felt that on the very last episode that my voice was kind of dying out. But yeah, I'm actually using a new microphone right now. Not sure if you guys noticed. This is a shotgun mic, so before I was using a dynamic mic. With this, I actually don't need to talk or speak as loud as I used to. And yeah, I don't know if you guys noticed, but these condenser mics are actually very, very clear. Like, I can literally hear myself very, very well compared to the dynamic mic. The problem with this one, though, is that since it's condenser, it kind of picks up background noise a bit more often. Hopefully there's nothing going on outside today. But yeah, without further ado, let's continue and actually clear Aria's route this time. My goodness. Or I don't even know if this is Aria's route, but I know for a fact that this is probably the longest route. Is that like how much time I've spent playing the game? 29 hours? Really? But that can't be right. Can it? I'm thinking, wowza, are you serious? I spent that much time. Yeah, see, I was actually playing till 12 a.m. last time I recorded this. If my voice wasn't shot and I wasn't trying to go too fast, I would have definitely cleared that at that hour. Or, even at 2 a.m. or something like that, but I was going too fast with the voice acting. And yeah, it just wasn't that good for me, you can say. But alright, it's been a day, so let me try to recap what happened last time. I think what happened last time is Son and Iria got together at last. Ethica is... I don't remember what happened to Ethica. Konsu started to make like a virtual environment to give people hope or something by Azaikyousuke. And then Kiri is trying to save people. Kazuma and Mitsumi got taken by the blob. I think that's what happened so far. Tokitaka should still be alive. We just don't know where he is. But alright, let's continue. I think this is Ethica's perspective, judging by the hologlasses. We board the Strider, loaded with as many weapons as will fit, and drive through the city. The mesh network isn't functioning properly. The traffic borough's just straight up given up. Not that it matters. Too much shit's happening at once. Not enough processing power to keep up with it all. Every road in the city is a fucking mess right now, I'm sure. Thank God we have a Strider. Definitely wouldn't be able to make it very far otherwise. Oh, this is Tokitaka. But yeah, you guys might actually notice when I'm actually moving the mic because of how sensitive this mic is. So I do apologize about that. We narrowly avoid some fleeing people and hop over the hoods of public taxis stuck in traffic. Sometimes we cruise on just one leg as we make our way to our objective. Snowball Nirvana in the Hyper Ghetto. I call out into the store's interior. But yeah, I still feel the same way as I had on the previous episode. I feel like if I didn't go to this route, I would have slowly knew about like Sue's past, Iria's past, Kiriri's mom. I feel like because I went to this route, it's kind of spoiling me with all the other routes. Like all the other routes as mystery. But I guess we'll see. I'll finish this one and try to get another route before this. Or, after this one is clear, but we'll see. Like always, Sue is tapping on the keyboard furiously. No, this is several times more furiously than usual. And like always, she's drooling all over the place. Jeez, don't get it on the keyboard. But one thing is certainly out of the ordinary here, and that's the fact that Azaikyousuke is sitting next to her. While she's clearly doing something, she's not moving her fingers like Sue, just staring straight ahead. She's probably inputting code directly. She speaks to me, head facing way. What? Head facing way? The fuck does that mean?
すみません。コンスーさんは集中しているようです。もちろん、あなたを呼んだのは。
ああ、大丈夫。本人に聞くから。
I wave to Yuka and walk over to Sue.
おいこら、まずぶた。
I whisper directly into her ear.
おっとて、止めんな。
Oh, don't know if you guys heard that. I was cracking my neck. She loves this shit, don't worry.
私をここまで呼びつけといて、いつまで待たせんだ?
I hold the drone beetle up in front of her face. This thing is a cybernetic bug. Wow, been a while since we actually got a trivia here. An insect with embedded electronic circuits that can be controlled remotely. Obsoleted by micro-robots, but still useful for espionage and reconnaissance, due to real insects blending in more easily with their environment. Developed jointly by the Karasuzumi Living Dead Agency and Konsil. They were popular for a while before micro-robots came into common use. Basically, you just implant a chip into an insect's head and control it using that. Suit took this ancient tech and refined it to perfection. You guys probably heard that, yeah? That's me moving the mic arm. With the mesh network on the fritz, sending one of these guys over was the quickest method we had of getting in touch with us.
ご主人様の命令だ。速攻で終わらせろ。
Sue starts typing even faster. She's really fucking going at it. The insides of her fingertips are probably a mess. But this is an emergency situation. She'll live. The reason she called us here isn't clear, but based on how she's acting, I get the idea that she's found some sort of hope to cling to. We watch with bated breath as we wait for Sue to complete her program. Where are we going? Sue picks up the nearby laptop and walks toward the front door. It looks like an old, busted up piece of junk, but she's probably stripped it out and filled it with the latest parts. Fortress? Okay. I guess we can't be going to the fortress because of how, it's already consumed and all that. She didn't say you last, damn it. It's just a whistle. Damn you, localization team. Perfect day for a date, ain't it? Sue's underground torture chamber is built like a shelter. If the living dead material does reach here, it will probably stay intact for a while. Soen is still in the highway. The rainbow-colored holograms around him seem to be moving a bit faster than earlier. Leaving him here doesn't sit well with me, but we can't afford to spare anyone to look after him. What kind of dream is he having? A pleasant one? A sad one? Whatever it is, it's probably filled with more emotion than I can imagine. This is the last time I'll ever see him, but nothing stirs in my heart. I always thought I'd feel something more when the time came. I guess I really am in bad shape. Don't worry, we'll pull out all the stops on our end too. I mean, I've been feeling that we were going to be on the last scene for a while now, Ethica. Heck, for the past 6 hours or so. But this route is just not ending, man. The Strider is waiting. Azaikyousuke trails behind us expressionlessly, still staring into space. Meanwhile, Sue can't quite bring herself to leave the house, even as the clock ticks down. We already had that date before, so she should be fine. Sue takes a single step forward, still holding onto her laptop. And then sinks to the floor.
スーちゃん。
I grab her hand. I can feel it trembling.
大丈夫。私がいるから。
Okay, I knew that she wasn't gonna say arigato. Damn it! Sometimes the localization, man, don't add words when it's not there. You know, it's kind of weird. I understand that if they're saying something and then you want to make your audience, like, you know, American people understand it better by using a different analogy or stuff like that, but when she clearly didn't even say anything, don't do this. Like, come on. Sue gets to her feet. Looks like she's faring better than I expected. Guess taking her out on that date paid off. The city streets have only grown more chaotic. People are fleeing in the opposite direction of the sea, by any means necessary. We're literally the only ones heading south.
ちょっと。
As Tokitaka drives toward Tokyo Tower, he ignores my protests and takes the junction from the Edo Bridge to the Shudo Expressway.
大丈夫か？
俺が一番早い。
わかるけどさ、入ったら小回り効かないぞ。
地上波はやってる。動画からリビングデッドマテリアルがどこまでやってきてるかは計算済みだ。
本当かよ。
I've got my doubts about this, but we can't turn back now. Trust Tokitaka with the numbers, Ethika. I leave the driving to Tokitaka and turn to talk to Sue and Soria Yuka, who are occupying the back seat.
で、こんな自分に東京電波タワーまで行って、一体何をするつもりだ？
東京に希望を植え付けます。
Man, for some reason, this is actually kind of making me hype, even though I don't know what the fuck they're trying to do. I guess you can... Emma. Oops. Damn it! I don't know what's going on with my, like, with my audio interface right now. It kind of skips, audio sometimes. Hopefully it doesn't do that throughout the whole episode. If it happens again, I might have to restart my computer. Ayuka answers me, her eyes so blank as she continues working on the program.
希望って？
リビングデッドマテリアルの動力源はメッシュネットワーク上で増殖する不安や恐怖です。サブコンはそんな負の感情を生み出す人間たちを不要だと考えている可能性さえある。
That moment flashes in my mind again. Me failing to grab Iria's hand as she dove into the living dead material. That wasn't the Iria I knew. It was as if she had succumbed completely to despair.
東京都民に希望を取り戻させる必要がある。
Oh, sorry about that. I thought she was done. She really talks slowly. I was trying to up my, like, sound because the sound in my headphones were actually lower because after the USB interface sort of disconnected there, it resetted my audio back to default. Tokyo's in a state of chaos right now. I have a hard time believing any program could dispel the very real terror its fleeing citizens are feeling right now. Still, we know what Midnight Shores is capable of. That might just be able to do the trick. Sue is tapping away on the laptop keyboard, not so much as looking up from the screen. She's a skilled hacker in her own right, and to top things off, she has her mentor, Soria Yuka, to help her. They very well could produce a virtual environment capable of matching areas.
しかし、それが完成したところで、それを配信する手段がない。
You good, Soria Yuka?
サブコンはメッシュネットワークへの接続を再開しました。彼女相手ではまともなハッキングは不可能でしょう。
I'd believe it. Given the way she slipped past every security system in the city to perform those concerts of hers. Felt more like magic than anything. Is there even anything we can do against someone capable of pulling off that kind of stuff? No, there has to be. That's why we're heading to Tokyo Tower, right?
向こうで一体何を
My ex-brain brings up a suggestion.
あ
The Shuto Expressway rises up, joining with an overhead bridge. And as our field of vision opens up, an enormous mass of white living dead material surges forth to block our path.
おい時高何が計算済みだよ塞がれてるじゃねえか
うるさい。このくらい計算してないとでも思ったのか。
Tokitaka spins the steering wheel. The Strider tears through the guardrail and hops across the expressway's divider, landing in the opposite lane, which is fortunately nearly devoid of cars.
あお前何やって
捕まってろ。
Before I can get so much as a word in, Tokitaka lowers the Strider's bearing. The Strider hops not just over the expressway's divider, but over its side wall, essentially going into a freefall. A sense of weightlessness envelops the vehicle. We fall through the air in slow motion. We bust through the branches of a nearby park's trees, falling to the ground beneath them. The adjustable legs curb some of the landing's impact, but fail to completely suppress it. The Strider shakes violently. It makes me bash my face against the wall. I hardly feel any pain, but I still yelp out of reflex.
みんな無事
なんとか
She's more calm about this than Ethica. Ayuka has one foot pressed against the ceiling to steady herself. She has her arms around Sue and her laptop, holding them in place. She is still in a trance. Sue's fingers continue moving faster than the eye can see. Looks like her concentration wasn't broken by all that. Atta girl, Sue. You keep at it.
こっから先は荒っぽく行くぞ。
The living death material creeps up on us from our left-hand side.
本当に間に合うんだろうな
3分14秒。誤差3秒以内に収める。
かけるか
バカ言え。数字は真実だ。真実は賭け事にはならない。
I don't know about that, Tokitaka. Some people like to bet on the, against all the odds. Numbers are truth, as it turns out. We reached Tokyo Tower exactly 3 minutes and 14 seconds later. We disembarked the Strider at the foot of the frozen monolith.
それでここから先は
Sue finally looks up from the screen.
緊急電源を聞いた緊急電源米中戦争で現役の電波塔が破壊された時東京都が緊急の補修を行った
The Tokyo Tower has been out of commission since the start of the 22nd century. I've only ever known it as the frozen hunk of junk, abandoned to the elements, little more than a historical monument if that. But she's telling me it's actually functional?
確かなのか師匠が言ってたから間違いない
Sue reaches for the fuse box near the entrance, but it's frozen and won't open.
参ったね
Not something a little force can't help.
エチカなら
Oh, I get it.
はいはい私の出番ね
Or rather, Rabbit Punch's turn. If I were still alive, I would have busted this baby out without having to be asked. Yeah, I was gonna say, she's kinda slow.
気をつけて任せてってば
I force myself to muster up some enthusiasm. The engine's roar echoes across the snowy field as I swing the blade down. The force of the swing makes the blade slip, bouncing off the ice. And stabbing into my foot. What the?
エチカごめん
Might be. Good thing I'm a living dead, huh? Let's try this again. This time, I carefully apply the chainsaw's blade to the ice. There we go. it digs into its target, gradually chipping away at the frozen lid. Particles of ice billow into the air as Rabbit Punch works its way through.
おい急げ、あと1分だ。
At the edge of my vision, I catch sight of the living death material as it climbs up the slope. This ain't good. Need to speed this up somehow. Do I go for overheat mode then? Kinda feels like it's too soon. I can only use it once, and if I need it later down the line... Ah, damn it, fine!
本気で行くぜ
I activate overheat mode before my X-Brain can screech another suggestion at me. Rabbit Punch's engine howls as the rotating ultra-hard polycrystalline diamond blade bites into the frozen fuse box. Yup, I'm still good at like saying that shit. Yeah, baby, that's what I'm talking about. I'm alive, god fucking damn it.
あと30秒。
あーてるってこんちくしょう
I carve away at the ice clinging to the fuse box's lid. The ultra-hard polycrystalline diamond blade is going through it visibly faster than before. But it'll still take some time to cut through it all. The engine begins to emit a foul odor. Come on, you can do better than that. I thrust the blade forward, putting my whole strength behind it. But the engine's speed drops rapidly. I give the blade one swift kick. Ice spews everywhere, and the lid bends in on itself, creating a gap just big enough to reach the switchboard's connector screw.
スーちゃん
Sue's already on the case. In one swift motion, she inserts a cable into the box. I've never seen connectors of this standard. If it was anyone but this little retro nerd, even just plugging something in would take some trial and error. She bangs away on the keyboard, paying no heed to the numbing cold. Rosa texts and numbers shriek across the laptop screen. No normal human could keep up with all this. Ayuka moves in to assist, releasing wires directly from her fingertips. Being an android comes in handy, huh? Strings of code pour across the laptop screen with ever greater speed and intensity.
15秒。
The dusky red blob has already crept up on us. It's inching in on the Strider right now. I think that the red blob doesn't really have a 3D animation, does it? I think so far we've only seen... Test? Is everything good? Test? You guys hear me? I think the game's frozen this time. God damn it! Alright, apologies for that. We are back. Not exactly at where we were before, but I had to use the control skip function. And I didn't want to actually miss out on dialogue, so... We are here, and I'm not sure if this is where we actually need to be at yet.
15秒。
I think we're close though. Yeah, I think this is it. The dusky red blob has already crept up on us. It's inching in on the Strider right now. Rabbit Punch is well and truly busted now. Guess I'd better follow my X-Brain's suggestion and procure some weapons before it's too late. I dive into the car and, as instructed, grab the AK-50 and AA-24 Custom. By the time I come out of the hatch, the Strider's legs have already been caught in the living dead material. I jump off the edge, just barely making it to safe ground.
10。
Tokitaka walks backward toward the tower as the living dead material creeps forth.
スーちゃんダメだ
Hopefully it doesn't happen again. It happened like multiple times, and I guess the game can't handle, like, you know, switching audio inputs multiple times, so it kinda closed up on me and froze. There's no way 10 seconds is enough time for her to finish. I grab Sue by the shoulder. Right now, we just need to get out of here. But she won't budge. Sue stays rooted in place as if she's sunken her teeth into the monitor. She hasn't given up. So why should I?
エチカ。
ここにいる
Tokitaka rushes up the stairs, but I stay put, hands on my hips. Heading for high ground will only delay the inevitable. So I'll stay here and help out Sue.
来いよ
I don't actually expect it to understand what I'm saying. typo, or not typo, but like missed text there. But what matters is the feeling behind it. But feelings aren't enough. How are you supposed to deal with this thing? It's like trying to fight mud. It covers my chest, my neck, and eventually my face. Everything vanishes into the dusky red. Time to die again, huh? I gave it my all, but it wasn't good enough. In my last moments, I think of... Sue howls, and the next moment, what sounds like a mosquito's buzz reaches my ears. High-frequency waves are emitted from the tower, making the black mass shudder. Every now and then, the sound fades out momentarily. Maybe it's simply exceeding the human hearing range. A dagger of pure sound penetrates my ears. Huh? It's bright. I scan the area. Is it stopping? The living death material has receded quite a distance from the tower. Its surface undulates rapidly. It almost looks as if it's straining itself against an invisible barrier.
これ何？スピーカーからリビングデッドマテリアルが嫌がる音を出した。
Man, that's convenient. Ain't never seen a bug that big. I get the logic behind though. When we escape from the fortress, we use an optical signal to freeze it in place. Wait, we did? Actually don't remember. Sue did the same thing, except with sound. Did we actually did it? I remember Azaikyousuke doing something to it, but I didn't know that it actually froze the living material in place. Thank God Tokyo Tower speakers are still functional.
ですが、一時しのぎです。
早く上に。なあ、スーちゃん。先に行っててもらえっかな。先に。ああ。
I can feel the damn thing glaring at us from beyond the wall of sound. A figure emerges from the gelatinous mass, stepping through the barrier. Is that a security robot? My experience got me covered. While the internal composition is different, it's indeed modeled after a security robot. Basically, the living death material detached part of itself and is sending it in to destroy the speakers. It's blocking interference from the supersonic waves by disabling the smart material's conductive properties and hardening the skin of the imitation security robot. Okay. So I guess it just, you know, like, spawn some kids, basically. And of course, there's more than one enemy. 2, 3. Countless more security robots step through the supersonic barrier. Not a fan of this new dusky red model, let me tell you. Gross as hell.
ブヨブヨしてたら手も足も出ないけどさ。固まってんなら私にだってぶっ壊せるし。どうせ私にできんのは時間稼ぎだけだって。
I turn to face Sue and give her a big old smile. Probably the last time I'm ever gonna see her.
スーちゃん、あとは任せた。東京に希望。よろしく頼むぜ。わかった。
Sue nods forcefully. I know this isn't easy for you. Atta girl.
だから。ああ。
I nod back.
下でずーっと待ってるよ。
I feel like even though everyone is giving off death flags, at the end, they might actually be alive again. Who knows? I hope they don't, personally. Because that means that I'm gonna have to go to another route for Mitsumi and Kazuma to get to know them better. But you know what happens in anime, man. I really hope this doesn't happen. Sue and Ayuka runs off. The elevator hasn't been serviced in ages, so they've gotta take the stairs, icy as they may be. It'll take a while for them to reach the top. Until they do, I have to keep these fuckers at bay. If they manage to destroy the tower's foundation, it's game over.
よっしゃー、エイチカちゃん、腕が鳴っちゃうぜ。
I charge at one of the security robots. It's holding a stun baton. Guess the living death material can't produce weapons that need ammo. Makes my job easier. The enemy approaches me, the tip of its rod crackling with electricity. Unfortunately, being a living dead doesn't mean I'm shockproof. No problem. Just gotta trash their asses without letting them touch me.
行くぜ。
You'd think that when you're a zombie, you kinda don't feel your nerves anymore, but I guess they technically are still, you know, alive. Because she is not a ghoul, she is a high-fi. I unload my AA-24 customs. No suggestions necessary. A crackling stun gun grazes against my cheek. But fortunately, I am immune to pain, more or less. Man, game, I'm gonna say, like, make up your mind. Call it a stun gun or a stun baton, damn it. Without any projectile weapons, these chumps don't stand a chance. But here's the thing. I can blow them apart all I want, but the resulting chunks just liquefy and crawl back outside the barrier. With new security robots arriving in their place, this is just gonna keep going.
いつまで時間を稼げるかだな。
And we're not, you know, we don't have infinite ammunition.
そっちもよろしく頼むぞ。
Right on cue, a shot rings out above my head. Tokitaka's got my back, literally, with his Ogasawara TFD-20. I've only got eyes in the front of my head after all. Honestly, he probably drew the short end of the stick with this one. Gotta preserve ammo. No access to more than what's on me right now. Fortunately, that happens to be my specialty. What I need to focus on is efficiency. I can't let them push me back. The fuse box is right behind me. One tap from those stun batons and it's toast, along with the supersonic barrier. And I don't think we can count on another miracle if that happens. So yeah, efficiency. That's where my X-Brain comes in handy. These aren't real security robots, but they fight exactly the same. The living death material is probably imitating the behavioral patterns of the robot it's consumed. Behavioral patterns my X-Brain is intimately familiar with. Why does it sound like you're cutting through flesh though, every time you destroy one of them? I give him a taste of my bayonet. Slice and dice. Decapitate, skewer, sever. Thankfully, only their skin is reinforced. A clean hit is enough to make him burst with a satisfying pop. Being a living dead has its perks. I could keep this up forever. I guess they are made from living dead material, technically. So they're not really robots. That's why it sounds fleshy. What the? That's Milgram, man. I know those side pistols. Maybe I spoke too soon. A figure pushes its way past the security robots.
おいおい。
I guess we're gonna have a final confrontation with you, fucker. A specter has risen from the depths of Tokyo Bay. Even in death, this guy is still causing issues, damn it. Milgram. And it's not just him. Pavlov's there too. Even Olga for some reason. 3 past foes resurrected as living dead material. I'm guessing... Oh, sorry about that. I actually hit the mic. In other routes, we actually face them one by one and not like in a battle royale like this. Like in... This is what I assume the true route is gonna be, you know? They're probably gonna have a lot more development. So it can imitate people too. Maybe I won't get to keep my promise with Sue after all. I can't shake that thought. And for better or worse, my instincts are usually right. Man, Son. Area, do something! And they're still climbing the stairs. Tokyo Tower is pretty high. 333 meters if I'm not mistaken. How long would it take to climb stairs with that height? I'm not sure. I think it has about 50 floors or something like that. Kansu's breath escapes her lips in puffs of vapor as she rushes up the stairs, Ayuka following behind her. They are still separated from the tower's antenna by many flights of stairs. A physical connection via cable is necessary for their program to function. Kansu is out of shape after spending so much time indoors without exercise. Save for her BDSM sessions, which we never see in this route, she rarely performed any sort of physical activity, period. Currently, she's been awake for several days straight. Her body is past its limits, and yet she's trying to climb the entirety of Tokyo Tower. Kansu slips on a frozen step and loses her balance. Ayuka hurriedly extends her hands and catches the laptop. I guess that is more important than Kansu right now. Kansu tries to regain her balance, but the icy steps prove too slippery. She goes tumbling down the stairs. Her body bounces off of each step, finally coming to a stop upon reaching the landing. Man, I'm actually pretty hungry right now. I jumped straight to playing this game after setting up some, the microphone. After I went home from the gym. With Ayuka's support, Kansu pulls herself to her feet. Still wobbling, she accepts the laptop from her. Ayuka's decision was correct. This laptop is more important than her right now. Kansu resumes climbing the stairs, even as her battered body burns with pain. Why didn't you give the laptop to Yuka? Below them, Etika is still fighting the humanoid living death material. The living death material has some sort of connection to Subcon. It's probably incapable of perceiving anything not at a similar scale to Iria. If it had spit out a Strider instead of those security robots, they would already be goners. But who knows how long Etika and Tokitaka can keep holding it off. A few bruises are nothing. They have to keep going. See, even though I feel like Sue's importance to the story is quite important, the fact that the reveal that Sue knows Iria is a bit too late in my opinion. It feels a bit awkward seeing Sue try her best because of Iria right now. At least to me personally. I feel like now that I, have time to actually think through about the story, I'm giving my thoughts a lot more compared to when I was recording this a couple of days ago. So it's kind of nice. Like, I'm not getting swept away by the whole atmosphere of the story, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, before she forgot, or before she got amnesia.
城の外部へのコンタクトは制限されていましたが、密かにずっと探していましたから。浜辺の風景をこっそりリリースしたのだって、脱走した時の資金を用意するためだったんですよ。名前まで変えて。あなたも苦労したんでしょ？私もまさかこんなに立派に成長してお店まで持っているなんて思いませんでした。
Kansu replies, gasping for air. That much has to be said.
私には あなたを施設から逃げ出させることしかできませんでした。そこから先はあなたの実力です。
Yeah, it feels really weird, the fact that I'm doing this route first, man. I feel so bad, the fact that I got this route first. Because it feels like I'm actually losing a lot of character development that I should have already seen from all the routes that I should have seen. That's about all she can get out. Because it feels like this route, personally, is like making everyone do what they should be doing, you know? Now I feel like I'm kinda spoiled at what their routes are gonna be like. Sue's probably not gonna be going, you know, to tell Iria that she's, Risa. And then Kiriri is probably not gonna find Soria Yuka in her route. Most likely, I'm just guessing right now, by the way. And Iria's probably not gonna get attacked by Milgram in her route. I assume. You know, this is all conjecture on my part. Each breath is like a dagger piercing her lungs, but Kansu is overwhelmed by a sense of joy. Her friend never forgot about her. That thought alone is enough to give her the strength to continue.
私もずっと気にしてた。
But she was unable to get in touch with Iria after leaving the Ikebukuro Child Protection Center. Despite her best efforts, not even her connections as a hacker were enough to produce any information on Iria's whereabouts. What changed things was Midnight Shores.
名前聞かなくても目で分かった。仮想環境プログラム。浜辺の風景を作ったのがエリアだって。だからそれがきっかけでザ・フォートレスに。
Ayuka doesn't need to breathe. She continues in place of Kansu.
私もまさかタンユンシャンがスーサイドワナビズの仲間だとは思いもしませんでした。脱出させるには他に方法がないと思っていたのですが、もし知っていたらイリアさんをあんな目には合わせなかった。記憶を失わせることはしなかった。
We still have no idea why she lost her memories, by the way. I still think it might be voluntary, you know? She might actually want to lose her memories by doing something herself. Like, basically, it's not because of an accident. At least I feel it. I feel it's that way, but we'll see. She was apparently able to recover her memories by revisiting the fortress. Does she remember me too?
コンスーさん、
It's as if Ayuka read her thoughts.
あなたはイリアさんを避けていたそうですね。記憶を思い出させないように。
Kansu has no response. Ayuka speaks the truth.
記憶を思い出さない方が
I'm sorry about that.
イリアさんは幸せに暮らせる、そう思ったんですね。
I guess Sue did say that to Son like a long time ago. That was like foreshadowing, I suppose. The two of them were essentially guinea pigs during their time in the Ikebukuro Child Protection Center. Day after day, they were injected with unsafe dosages of synesthesia and forced to drive the highway. Many of their friends let their consciousness disperse in the process, leaving them catatonic. If Kansu could forget everything about that place, she would. Iria losing her memories was really a blessing in disguise. Even if it meant she forgot about Kansu too.
エリアは思い出したの。
Yeah, by her saying all this, it's making me like theorize that in her route, Iria probably doesn't remember shit. We might not even see Subcon or something in her route. We'll see.
いいえ、 池袋 CPC の記憶は彼女にとっても思い出したくない過去なのでしょう。このままであなたは満足ですか？
They stop on one of the landings. Kansu looks up at Ayuka, still gasping for breath.
あなたは嘘をついてでもイリアさんに幸せになってもらいたい？それとも偽物の幸せは嫌？
How should she respond? How can she respond? Kansu is here to save Iria, that much is certain. Even if she has to expose everything in the process to dig up their past together, she wants to help her. But Iria's feelings don't factor into that equation. Would she not simply be forcing her to confront things she'd rather forget? Is what she's doing really for Iria's sake, and not her own?
わからない。何が彼女のためにいいのか。
Why did Ayuka choose to ask her this question now of all times? I don't know. She's being really cryptic. Shouldn't we be focusing about saving the world and shit like that? What the fuck? This is really awkward. It feels like she's being tested even now.
イリアさんはハイウェイにいます。きっと今頃ソウンさんが説得を試みているでしょう。でも本当に帰ってくることがいいことなのでしょうか？
いいこと。
Yes, that is the question that must be answered. The highway is free of suffering. On the network, will is power. There, Iria can truly be free. So why should she return to the real world, only to be shackled by negative emotions? If a lie is all you know, it becomes the truth. How is staying in the highway any different from what Kansu wanted for her?
この世界は本当にハイウェイよりも意味のあるものなのでしょうか？
What the fuck? This is so weird. Why is this even... What the fuck? Why is this even happening? Yeah. Kansu realizes now that she isn't being tested. Ayuka truly and honestly doesn't know. As an android, both the physical world and the highway are equally real to her. Can you argue that there is a real world? Really? Because you want me to answer this question? You want the reader to, like, contemplate this? If human consciousness is born from electrical signals traveling between neurons, how can you say that the world we perceive is somehow more valid than the one subcon perceives? The only difference is the mechanism by which her consciousness emerged. What basis do we have to say that we are right and she is wrong? Kansu doesn't know. She's fucking killing everything! The fuck? If there is an answer, it is beyond her ken. All she can do is climb. What the fuck? I get what they're trying to do, but this is actually retarded. Climb ever higher, knowing not why she does. She cannot stop. Not now. Her feet carry her higher, ever higher. Wow, that question was actually super dumb. Like, I get what they're trying to do, but come on! My consciousness drifts in a rainbow sea. I can hear water splashing right next to my ears. My body is enveloped in a soft warmth. This place is pleasant. So very pleasant.
気に入ってくれたかな?
A sultry whisper worms its way through my ear, seeping into my brain. I can see Ryoko on the other side of the light. I want to just fade away. But it feels like I'm forgetting something. That's weird.
ほら、ここもこんなになっているぞ。
Are you serious? We're actually getting an H scene this late into the route? You gotta be fucking kidding me. If this is an H scene, and not just like, you know... Oh my god, I might actually be pissed if this is an actual H scene. A shudder jolts through my spine. What is this? All Mitsumi did was rub her palm across my chest.
乳首を触っただけでこんなになっちゃうんだ。
Iria? What is she doing here? Where am I to begin with?
なでなでしたらどうなるのかな。
I get that this is supposed to be a hentai game, but man, can you really not do this at a serious moment? Like, what the fuck? My hips buck in surprise. She only lightly touched my crotch, but my entire body spasms. What's happening to me? It feels like
気持ちいいのよね。そんなに体を震わせて。
God, I really hope this doesn't turn into a full-blown H scene. Ryoko and Mitsumi run their hands all over me, caressing my body. My very cells shiver in delight. It feels like I could melt away under their touch. Sloshing waves, dancing hands. Everything slips away. I give myself onto the sensations, staring up at the sky. Is this what pleasure feels like?
それでいいんだよ。そうここでは好きなように思い通りに何でもできるんだ。それってとってもいいことだよ。
Is Subcon doing this? Succumbing to my urges. I don't have to fear that?
生きているとか死んでいるとか関係ない。長岡は長岡だ。それでいいじゃないか。
The water my body is submerged in grows sticky, viscous. All three of them caress my body, fingers never stopping. I'm caught in a torrent of pleasure. Nothing else matters. I need to find something to hold on to. A statement of who I am.
自分を縛る必要はないじゃない。お主はずっと苦しんできた。僕は苦しくなって。自分の苦しみに気づけないくらい。
The light drowns everything out. Whatever I tried to cling to is washed away by the pleasure.
もういいんだよ。
It permeates into me.
幸せになっていいんだよ。
Iria's words suffuse my every pore, filling my very soul. Nothing else. There's nothing else but her. Let my feelings be heard.
ありがとう。僕をこの場所まで呼んでくれて、幸せがどういうものかを教えてくれて、僕はこの感覚を知らないまま完全に死ぬところだった。
分かってくれたんだね。だからね、このまま私と一緒にいよう。
You know, this scene would have been a lot less awkward if Ryoko and Mitsumi were not here, Iria.
一緒に本物の浜辺の風景に行こう。
I'm guessing Kansu is showing us this mirage.
イリアはそれでいいのかな。ここは多分僕にとっては幸せな場所だと思う。君にとってもそうなのかな。
もちろん。
I can see the doubt in her eyes. Is this the actual real Iria? She directed those words at herself.
少し引っかかるんだ。
I don't get why Ryoko is here though. Well, I guess her body is in the Tokyo Mega Float.
何か忘れてる気がするんだ。
だったら忘れればいいよ。
僕の目を見てそう言える。
I have to know, Iria.
忘れてもいいって本当に言える。
Okay, at least it wasn't an H scene. I would have been super pissed if that was.
忘れてもいいって本当に言える。
I have to censor your boobies there, Iria. I guess that's nothing compared to what I've censored so far. It is. She's so close to getting the words out. Why? Two simple words. That's all she needs to be with Sohn forever.
ソウンは私と一緒にここにいたくないの？ここがハイウェイにできたただの仮想環境だから？
うん、違う。サブコンはここで生まれたんだよね。彼女にとってはここ以外の世界がない。僕だってもう元の世界には戻れない。だからここが本物だ。
True.
じゃあお願い。
There's no problem for Sohn, yeah. But we're not asking about him right now.
私と一緒にいて。
もちろん君が本当にこの世界にいたいと願うなら。でも君はまだ生きてる。あっちの世界に戻れるんだ。
生きてるとか死んでるとかそんなのどうでも。私の幸せには関係ない。
Fair point.
やり残したことはない。イリア。
Iria cracks beneath Sohn's pointed gaze.
私怖いの。
怖い。
だってそうでしょ。ここなら毎日楽しいんだよ。嬉しいんだよ。どうしてわざわざ苦しみを背負うの？東京にどれだけ苦しいことがあると思うの？どれだけ人が悲しんでると思うの？
The data flitting through the diagram of Tokyo is blood red. Anger, hatred, enmity toward one another. The mesh network is a crimson fabric of negative emotions.
私のいる世界の外は楽しいことがいっぱいだと思ってた。嬉しいことだらけだと思ってた。私は一生懸命やったの。すごく自分にできることを精一杯やって。
I mean, you're still blaming yourself for everything that happened. Most of what happened is not really her fault, really.
やったのに。なんでこんな風になるの？どうして私は私の好きな人を救えないの？みんな悲しませてしまうの？こんな世界に生きるなんて私もう無理だよ。
イリア。
Sohn's hands clamp down on Iria's shoulders. She tries desperately not to cry.
死んだ僕がこうしてここにいられるのは君がいてくれたおかげだ。君は希望をくれたんだ。
希望なんてどこにも。
君はそれを望んだ。だからあの部屋を出たんだ。
私は
All she has to say is that she has no attachment to the outside world. No unfinished business there. But she can't. Why? Why does it hurt so much? What is she forgetting? There's something she has to remember. The reason she left the fortress. The reason she escaped that room in pursuit of hope. It was... I guess she still hasn't remembered about Kansu, yeah. I guess they really want her to remember Kansu at the end, huh? Which is why Soria Yuka was, you know, doing that whole fiasco thing. About asking the... Technically, it's not the player, but she's just asking Kansu, but it's kind of like metafiction, you know? The Living Dead material has sent 3 warriors to destroy the fuse box. Milgram, Pavlov, and Olga. I can understand what Milgram and Pavlov are doing here. They sunk to the bottom of the ocean with the Tokyo Megafloat, so the Living Dead material had access to their bodies. But why Olga? I assume in another route she's probably playing a lot more important role. And we probably find out that she's a suicide wannabe, you know, before she actually dies. I guess she was in the fortress and was consumed by the Living Dead material too. Well, it doesn't matter.
敵が誰だろうとぶっ倒す
Rabbit Punch is out of commission, but I have other ways of fighting. CQAMA taught me how to use multiple weapons in tandem. It'll be fine. I can do this. I whisper some words of encouragement to myself. Without that encouragement, my consciousness might just fizzle out. Counting on you here, X-Brain. Keep me going for just a little longer. Olga is the first to make a move. She sprints across the snow, a karambit knife in hand. Damn, she's no slouch. I take a step back, pairing her knife with my bayonet. Our blades are pinned against each other, but I have 2 weapons. Are they gonna go like one by one? What the fuck? Come on now. Doesn't matter if she locks one arm down. I've got the AA-24 too. I sense a foe rushing at me from above and let out a shot. No good. He blocks it with his bare arms. Pavlov swoops down on me from above like a missile. There we go. Ain't happening. Pavlov lands and immediately jumps to his feet. He then thrusts his right hand forward, launching a wire directly at my neck. So they got no ammunitions, but they got all their weapons back. I guard myself with the AA-24, but the wire coils around its barrel. I don't have time for a tug of war. I let go of the shotgun and level my AK against Olga with both hands. Well, that's a surprise. A side pistol is sticking out of my chest. I've been stabbed through the back. Yeah, there's no way Ethica is actually going out alive. She's gonna be destroyed for sure. Have my senses grown so dull that I didn't even notice Milgram approaching me? But... one-on-one, these guys are monsters. 3-on-1, this is like impossible. I gotta at least act like I do. As I howl, a faint pain courses through my body. Or at least it feels like it does. I pull the blade out of me and fire the AK-50 at Milgram. His anti-armor suit is just for show, apparently. The hail of bullets tears straight through it into Milgram's body, literally liquefying him. The Living Dead material slithers off, escaping from the buzzing sound. Oh, I guess the nice thing about them is that they're pretty weak, but they can regenerate every time though. Anticlimactic, but I have other things to deal with. I spin around and thrust out my bayonet. Going against me at this range? She thrusts her karambit knife into my thigh and uses it as a fulcrum, grabbing onto my arm. She clings to me like some kind of mollusk, clamping down hard. She's got my arm completely locked down. The Living Dead material isn't just copying their appearance, but their fighting styles as well. Never fought her before, but this must be how she does things. I knew she was more than what she seemed since that night we spent together. Both her physical abilities and her technique are first class. For all I know, she could have been one of the suicide wannabes. If both of us were still alive, this would have gotten fucking intense. Jeez. I slam Olga, along with my arm, into the icy steel of Tokyo Tower. My hand bears the full brunt of the impact. It's more than a little fucked up. But hey, I'll take it. Could be much worse. I think I'm getting the hang of this whole living death thing. Which means my senses are deteriorating. I failed to react to the wire launch at me from behind in time. The wire coils around my neck. I jam my wrist into the wire to reduce the pressure on my neck, but the next moment, my body is pulled into the air. So yeah, they're not durable, but I think they're indestructible because they can just keep regenerating, right? Even if you kill one, she's just gonna mass produce them again. You know, you didn't have to copy how agile he is. Pavlov wraps the wire around Tokyo Tower, hanging me up in the air like a pulley. The wire digs into the decaying flesh of my neck. The only saving grace in the situation is that unlike a carbon nanotube wire, it doesn't heat up. I managed to get my left hand into the wire and distribute the weight. But the problem is that protecting my head isn't the only thing I have to worry about. While I'm stuck here, Pavlov's headed for the fuse box. So what does she do now? Just a little more. Panic! Panic already! Why aren't I panicking more? As long as my consciousness is alive, I know I can... This is what I've been waiting for. Man, where are you, Tokitaka? I guess he said he was gonna go... like uphill or something. But I can't believe he's not providing us any support at all. My X-Brain offers a suggestion for a way to turn the tables, and I take it. I am Ethica. Hear me roar, baby! I give Pavlov a taste of his own medicine, dropping down on him from above and stabbing the karambit knife into his back. Gelatinous living dead material gushes out of him, painting my body with dusky red. Finally, a chance to catch my proverbial breath. Since I can't feel any pain anymore, I'd completely forgotten Olga's knife was still stuck in my thigh. Ultimately, the copies the living dead material sent at me were just that, copies. It might be able to imitate their appearance and even make them fight similarly, but they're just not the real thing. If that's all it's got, then I think I should be able to handle it. Even if they keep respawning? Maybe I spoke too soon. Kara Suzumi Ikatsu, the man I owe my life to, confronts me. This more or less confirms it. It can copy anybody it's absorbed. Ikatsu aims the AA-24 at me. I roll over the frozen earth. A storm of bullets whizzes by and chips away at the ice wall behind me. The weapon, at least, is real this time. Closing the distance is easier said than done. Or not. Still firing the AA-24, Ikatsu charges at me like a heavy tank, completely unconcerned by the prospect of a counterattack. Then, I'll have to be true to myself to defeat him. The AA-24 custom is modified for fighting lo-fi living dead that don't wear any armor. I'm both wearing armor and a living dead. Spread shots from this distance aren't going to stop me. I wait until the last moment and jump. Ikatsu reacquires, but he's out of ammo. My X-Brain was keeping track of exactly how many bullets it had left. I aim for his head with the karambit knife. Ikatsu discards the AA-24 custom and blocks the attack with his elbow. The blade gets stuck inside it. I can't tear it out. This is bad. I let go of the knife, but it's too late. He punches me in the stomach. Shockwaves ripple through my entire body. As I fly back, the world seems to move in slow motion. I guess this guy is a bit more durable. I pick up the AA-24 custom Ikatsu threw away and come at him head on. Ikatsu is unarmed, but then again, his bare fists might just be stronger than any weapon. An arm like a tree trunk comes rushing toward me. I crouch to avoid the attack, only for a leg like a boulder to swing down at me. I try to block it with my elbows, but can't quite absorb all of the force. I'm sent flying like a soccer ball. What is this? My heart may be dead, but my body moves on its own. My body remembers how to fight. Or maybe this is the X-brain at play here. I can't tell. But whichever it is, I know one thing for sure. This fake is inferior in just about every way to the Ikatsu I remember. As I fly through the air, I pull the cocking handle and remove the empty magazine from the AA-24. I take a fresh one out of my pocket and jam it in. The entire process takes less than a second. Okay, I just always wanted to say that. Had it been the real Ikatsu, the blow would have rendered me completely incapable of pulling this off. But this copy's kick? That's nothing.
Ikatsu-san, thank you!
I pull the trigger the moment I land. The pathetic imitation of Ikatsu is blown into pieces, bringing a new foe into view. Ryoko, holding the AK-50 I dropped. They really want everyone to be alive, man. I guess, you know, necromancy and shit. That makes sense, since she also sank with the Tokyo Mega Float. Let's make this quick. I level my gun at her. Wow, she can even copy the voice. The copy calls out with Ryoko's voice. But as I'm about to ignore her and pull the trigger, I can't help but doubt myself. She's a fake, obviously. No reason to show mercy. But is it really okay to just pull the trigger? Yes? If I were still alive, I'd be feeling pangs of conscience, something fierce right now, wouldn't I? I hesitate. But Ryoko doesn't, naturally. It's like my torso's been hit by a truck. What the hell am I doing? My body moves reflexively to guard itself. Sparks fly as our bayonets clash. The lower half of my body feels a little off, but I can still move just fine. All I have to do is press forward and pull the trigger. No problem, right? After all, this is a fake. I don't feel the slightest bit of hesitation at the idea of blowing it to pieces. As we push against one another, I catch a glimpse of Ryoko's face. It stares at me blankly, bulging with dusky red veins. Her lips move. Fuck off. Now that's something she's not gonna say, right? I push it off balance and slash it across with the bayonet. Ryoko cherished everyone in the office, but the only one she ever loved was Ikatsu. That's how I can tell. This is a fake. No need to worry about killing a fake. I think the real Ryoko, you know, the living Ryoko, still would have killed her without doubting herself. Or, sorry, Etika. The real Etika. My X-brain alerts me to the approach of my next opponent. I level my bayonet. Wow, okay, so Kazuma and Mitsumi are both dead. Or maybe they're not dead, but they are definitely inside of her. So the next one is fake Kazuma. Sure, anything goes. She's skilled with tonfas, and so is the copy. But of course, she's no match for me. Like, I feel a little bad about killing Kazuma, but compared to Ryoko, it's nothing. One thrust is all it takes. If so, bad fucking call. Don't have enough emotions left for that shit to work. I don't think Kiri got taken, right? She should have survived the impact or the confrontation with the living dead material. I don't think Etika is able to kill Kiri even if she is fake. And I don't even find that sad anymore. Same as how the snow falling from above in the distant city lights don't strike me as beautiful anymore. My X-brain brings up an alert. I can't react to it on time though. I hold up the AA-24 a moment too late, only for it to be cut right down the middle. Yeah, this is Mitsumi. My right thigh is slashed and I keel over. I should have realized this as soon as Kazuma appeared. Someone else was absorbed by the living dead material along with her. Gijo meets me. She holds her imitation Soshimaru in Haso. In Haso? What does that mean? Staying formal even against a down opponent, I see. I have a hole in my left foot, and my right leg's been severed. My left hand's fingers are broken to pieces, and I have a gaping hole in my stomach. I'd be a motionless corpse already if I weren't a living dead. I've been victorious up to now, but literally at the cost of life and limb. Talk about not knowing when to die. But it's over now. The fake Mitsumi swings down her blade. She's nowhere near as strong as the real thing, but she'll be able to crush my head just fine. There's nowhere left to run. No weapon to block the attack with. Is this the end? Don't give me that shit. You just have to hold out a little longer. Don't give up. Gather your fading emotions. Scrape together every last bit of rage you still have in you. It's no good. I don't have any strength left to drum up. I can't even feel frustrated at that fact. Why was I fighting again? A promise with Sue, was it? Man, what a joke. I don't have anything left to keep me going. And I don't even feel bad about that. So I guess this is just the end of the line for me. I'm better off just... My body moves on its own. I stopped the sword with my bare hands. My ex-brain is none too pleased with my defeatist attitude. It's like it's scolding me, telling me I can't die like this. Okay, buddy. I get it. I know I put you through hell. So I'll give it one last push. At this point, I guess the ex-brain is the, quote-unquote real Ethica. I gather up every emotion I still have left in me and twist the blade between my hands. The fake Soshimaru snaps from the sheer force. But the fake Mitsumi keeps going, swinging the base of her katana down at me. I fall forward, impaling the fake Mitsumi with her own blade. Gelatinous fluid bursts out of her. And with that, it's over. She got me with the broken katana at the last second, right in the skull. My ex-brain shuts down. Everything feels awfully distant. I'm ready. I have to be ready. I'm sorry, Sue. Goodbye, Kiri. Yeah, Kiri got taken, right? Huh? Man, everyone's just dead in this route. What the flying fuck? Is this some kind of illusion? I mean, I was expecting way too much. She was trying to save people for Pete's sake, Azai. Of course she was gonna get caught at some point. I can see Kiri at the edge of my vision. This is a joke, right? Why? 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 I mean, everyone that showed up so far were all people swallowed up by that wave. So if there's a living dead material version of Kiri... I drag my broken body across the ground and grab hold of the AK's bayonet. Please, let this be a nightmare. But it's not. The copy of Kiri standing before me is as real as can be. The fake approaches me with dusky red eyes. I swing straight for its forehead. Man, I say this is the true route, but everyone's dying. I feel conflicted. It stabs me through the chest in retaliation, but there's no pain. No sensation of any sort. I crumple to the ground, holding onto Kiri's body. Snow falls from above. The tears won't even flow. I can't feel anything at all. I'm gone. A complete and total living dead. But you know, maybe that's a good thing.